CFB Late Show with your boy Moon and the governor of college football. On today's jam-packed edition, we are going to talk about some of the games of the week that we can't miss out on, including Missouri taking stage after Ahmad Hardy just put up close to 300 yards. More to come on this Late Show. You already know what time it is. We also going to talk about American Conference play, Big 12 ballers, and shot callers. We might give out a preview of the game ball, but all of this comes on this episode. I'm Boy Moon, that's Governor.
And that's Cole Maddox. Playboy, how you living, man?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling good, man. I can't believe the season is almost so over with. But
Yeah, we were just having those discussions, and can we just have candid conversation before we get into our actual show today?
I'm off.
Our unscripted show.
I'm off.
Lane Kiffin. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Lane Kiffin. We've heard reports that Ole Miss has kind of given him an ultimatum. Lane Kiffin has come out and said that isn't true. There's a lot of parody accounts on Twitter now. You got to kind of comb through the details. So whenever On3 posts something, I make sure it doesn't say no 3 and my dyslexia isn't, you know what I'm saying?
Because it happens fast.
It happens fast, or
when you're scrolling.
It's 247 Sports versus 274 Sports. There's just so much going on in today's college football. And granted, it tells you how this sport has exploded. A lot of people want clout, and there's a couple of ways you can get clout in this world. You can brick by brick work your way up. Not saying that these parody accounts don't, but some of these parody accounts do so well. And there's people that don't realize that they're parody accounts. Just like there's some people that don't realize that, some of these videos that you're watching on YouTube is AI, because just some people just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I said all of that to say this. Where you at with this Lane Kiffin situation? Is he a distraction? If he does indeed take a job at LSU or Florida, those are the two schools he's clearly going to take a job at, one of them. What do you think that means for his legacy? Because I think he has an opportunity to do something really special. I really think Ole Miss can win it all. So, by waiting to take a job, are those universities willing to wait on him? Because we know how fast coaching carousel goes after the season ends. This is before bowl game. So how do you think he should play this? He's the hottest commodity in coaching. If he's worth it, I think he's worth the wait. Hell, see what his team does. If he goes in and win a championship, but that also means prices going up, like me, you and Mike always like to say. So talk to me. How you feel about that?
Play it out until the college football playoff comes around. Mm-hmm. Because at this pace, you just got to keep winning. Of course, you got to win the last game of the year. Got to win, must win. Yeah. It's no. You can't even have a thought of slipping up in that situation. Right. Because then you go from hot commodity to laughing stock, and you don't want your stock to drop. So if you want to play it right, let your stock extend as much as possible. Keep riding on the high wave. Right now, I think Lane is the hottest commodity on the list. He's the big fish in the pond, in the ocean that we want. Mm-hmm. LSU and Florida, it's give and take of what you feel is the better pick for him. Mm-hmm. I would be so curious just to sit down with Lane and just pick his mind if the cameras was off. What are you thinking, dude? Because you have to hear all the he said, because he be popping off right back at people. He'll call people out in the heartbeat.
Is he the most active coach in college football as it pertains to social media? Like, he's always on Twitter. I don't think he even knows how inspirational he has a daily book of like quotes or things that get you ready for the day. Like, my mom had one of those back in the day, and he tends to post each of them every day. And I don't even think he knows how helpful it is, not only to me but to everybody else who's watching. So you're right. I wonder how is he feeling right now? How's his family feeling? Think about the time that Ole Miss hired him. Yes, he had done a great job down in Paradise, but they took a chance on him. They rolled the dice on him. So where do you consciously place that? Like, hey, I've come here. I've done my job. I'll put you guys on the map. I don't owe you a damn thing. I did what I was supposed to do. So how would you? Sorry to cut you off. How would you?
They gonna hate him for it. Mm-hmm. Because why leave? Mm-hmm. When the fine girl don't want to be with you no more, it's heartbreaking. It's crushing. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I feel like in this case, the fine girl don't want to just come out and say, I don't want to be with you.
Hmm.
It's the I'm just gonna let time play out. I'm just gonna let it ride, and I think he should let it ride as far as he possibly can
Hmm.
to college football playoff. Right where we get to the committee is ranking and putting out the final rankings because you're not playing in the conference championship game at this pace unless we have anarchy that happens, which we
Mm. Which I think we will. I think we got one more special weekend. So, in your sense of it, currently he's with Robin Givens, but one choice is Holly Berry circa 1992 in Boomerang, and the other choice is Christina Milian from Love Don't Cost a Thing. That one's being Florida, you know what I'm saying? One being LSU, and he's like, Robin Givens, you cool, but look at them. You know what I'm saying? So what do you
you
think
think
he really
I
does?
think he needs the challenge.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a coach that needs to be mentally stimulated.
Okay.
Um, he's a mental stimulator lover. Like you could be fine, you could be fine as hell, but at the end of the day, if you're not making this man think, man, he gonna
Right.
tune you out. And I
Hmm.
think this job has reached his apex only because of brain power. Like I feel like he has other things in the vault that he wants to debut in the lab, but he doesn't feel comfortable pulling it out at this stage. We've seen him grow up before our eyes. Like
Hmm.
real deal at all the different stops that he's been at, and at nowhere in his point has he been hotter than where he is right now. So I say keep riding it out because you are an inspiration on
Hmm.
socials.
Hmm.
You are impacting these kids. They're gonna follow you no matter where you go. So I wouldn't be surprised if you say you got a new coach. If next year, if it is LSU, then half the LSU roster is transfer portal people
For
from
sure.
Ole Miss.
For sure.
So it's just Ole Miss West, Ole
So
Miss East.
so
So
let's flip the script for a second here. So you remember back in the day, what did you used to call people in your chat who would never comment but they'd be watching?
they just
I forgot
they
what
are ops.
I forgot what we called them. You used to call them a op, but there's a word for it.
A lurker.
Yeah, yeah, a lurker, right? And then back in the day, you know what I'm saying, if you ain't commenting on tweets, but you was just twatching, right? To me, I'm a message board watcher. I never comment because none of us know how big this thing is going to get. I don't want to get Josh Pate. You know what I'm saying? And kudos to him. He made a comment. It was brought back up. He put the clown nose on. It was just great. Josh Pate, as great as he always is. It was just one of those great moments. I feel like for him just to own up to that. So I'm
Yeah,
on
he did.
a lot of these message boards for Florida. I'm on a lot of these message boards for LSU. Both programs had an issue with the last coach that they hired. I thought that Billy Napier did the work. It's just it was a lack of attention to detail. It was a lack of discipline. I felt like he was more of a player's coach than the disciplinarian that you and I prefers. And we look at Brian Kelly. You and I weren't in love with the hires the moment that he started with the Southern Twang. We weren't in love with the hires. So watching these message boards, kind of trying to get a gear every day, and this is crazy. I'm not a part of either none of these message boards, but every day I see something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on Twitter or I'm just on my phone, I'll just see it. Which one of these programs need this? He is the slam dunk hire, right? Which of these programs, like, if they don't get Lane Kiffin, the fan base is going to be pissed the hell off.
He is in a situation where it's like LeBron hitting free agency,
Yeah,
and
taking
when
his
when he
talents
has
to
to
South
make the
Beach.
decision.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm about to take my time to South Beach.
Right.
That's what it makes me think of because he really can leave, but he's gonna be hated for it. But it's only gonna make the legend grow stronger.
Hmm.
My hot take is I don't even think it should be hot. I
Hmm.
don't think LSU or Florida is the right job. Neither
You
one.
have said that. Jalen have said that. You both have been consistent with that. Why is that the answer? And are you saying it for the program or are you saying it
They're
for
never
Lane
going
Kiffin?
to be happy. They're never be happy. They are no matter what you do, how good you
Mhm.
are, you will get chewed up and spit out
Hey, do me a
if you
favor,
do not
Moon.
win. And the
Leave
problem
out and join
is,
again.
like,
Some of your audio was getting fuzzy. We Gucci. We Gucci. Yep.
they never gonna appreciate that, man. He needs to go to a smaller place that actually will appreciate him, that will understand like how much of a great coach that is, and it's not even all about money. I feel like he's reached a
Mm-hmm.
part in his career where it's not about X's and O's in the checkbook. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
about executing the X's and O's because he wants to be a champion. Like he wants to be a
For sure.
champion. Has to talk to Nick Saban and see how many rings that he has all the time. Like I know that makes him mad. I know it makes him just like, bruh, like why do I have to? I want to have rings too. And doing that as an assistant, that's cool. Doing it in other places, but I feel like LSU and Florida, they have too grand expectations for what their program is. And we understand the magic of the Bayou and Baton Rouge. We understand
Mm-hmm.
how the Gainesville is and what it can be and how they've been starving for something that makes their fan base feel a little at times rabid because they kind of are unrealistic in ways. Like Billy and Napier got chewed up and spit out. Some of the things that we heard these fans say at these schools when your performance is not up to par, man, Lane Kiffin is the type to be like, oh yeah, oh I didn't get a call, good play call. All right, cool, say less. Like he'll go right back and forth with you. I feel like because he will take a mental rolodex of everything that you say and
Oh
then
yeah,
bring
he's
it
he's
back
a
to
sicko.
you.
He's a sicko for sure.
I don't want him to take the LSU nor the Florida job. I want him to wait as long as he possibly can because if you don't make the SEC championship game, you have your stock still right there. It's
Hmm.
still going up.
And more than
College
likely,
football playoff committee
you will get a buy. More than likely, the way that things pan out.
get a
I
bye.
don't know. I think while I agree with you as far as those schools and how I think sometimes their expectations don't meet reality. But with both of those programs, I do get, hey, our resources are plentiful. Why aren't we meeting the needs of the business? You know what I'm saying? And because college football is big business, but for him, he has an opportunity to go to one of these places. And Lane Kiffin is young. What is he, like 50? Right? He has the opportunity to go to one of these places with those both of those places. The resources are plentiful, and yes, they'll never be happy, but with plentiful resources, even more access to recruiting, teams that are willing to spend even more money, even though little old Miss in Oxford has been spending more money. But when you start talking about legendary, like he can go on a crazy run, but he can also do the total opposite. So that's why I understand what you're saying, but I feel like he can go on a crazy run. You put him in either Gainesville or Baton Rouge, he can go on a crazy run. He really can. The scary thing about Baton Rouge is, what was Les Miles ending like in Baton Rouge, and how upset was the fan base was.
Nick
How
Saban.
upset was the fan base with Nick Saban? How upset was the fan base and the staff was with
Yeah,
Ed
Orgeron.
Orgeron? Yeah, when they left. So
It
that's why I agree with
nobody
you.
is exempt, no matter how good you
Hmm.
are. At the end of the day, if it don't lead to results, is what have you done for me this past
Yeah,
week?
yeah, that's
It's not
college
even
for
lately.
sure.
It's what you did for
Hmm.
me this past week for real. Because they have high expectations. So I just don't want him to be in another situation. Like he already understands what it's like to coach in the
Hmm.
SEC. He's been in these atmospheres. I'm sure he probably got a chance to play in these atmospheres to see like, dang, this would be crazy. This would be
Hmm.
ridiculous. I just say keep your options open for as long as you can, my brother. Don't put a ring on it right now. You don't got to. You still already committed. Fulfill your commitments. Do what you need to do. Stay out of the crosshairs. Don't continue to cook people if you feel necessary. Continue to be Lane Kiffin, how we need you to be.
I
But
think
don't let it get in your head to cause it to stop winning because that's when things go from he's hot commodity to
mhm.
dang, why we didn't hire James Franklin?
I think what's interesting is, I don't know if you've seen Keywan Lacey's appearance. Well, both Coach Kiffin and Keywan Lacey's appearance on Pat McAfee's show, and
Mm-mm.
he was like that. Nobody works harder than this kid. In my opinion, just seeing their relationship and how wherever he goes, Keywan Lacey is going.
He follows.
Yeah,
He follows.
he's only a sophomore. We look at what he was able to do this year. He can't even leave. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Wherever he goes, what does his legacy mean at Oxford? What does that look like? Can
He's
he win multiple
probably
championships in Oxford, in your opinion?
no.
Okay. All right. That's the honest answer. That's the answer I expected as well. But can he win them in those other places as well?
No,
No. No.
because you run into the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
You run it. You're still gonna have to go through Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you escape it, you're gonna have to either go through Kirby on this side,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna have to go through Dan Lanning on this side.
Yep.
Pick your poison. What you want?
Mm-hmm.
You want Jason or you want Fred?
Yeah, it's certainly difficult in this era of college football to continuously win it. So I'm glad we opened it up with that. Let's go ahead and start to get to some of the games we wanted to preview this week. We got a big one, Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon. We got USC. It's coming to town. Feels like one of those old Pac-12 matchups. It makes me happy secretly. You and I was talking about how the Pac-12 was back, and they out the casket like the Undertaker. What's your before we start to get into like how we feel about the game, the players to watch? At this point, the people who watch this show as one percenters, they already know all of that stuff. What's your overall mood and feeling about both of these teams? Is Oregon automatically in, even if they lose this game? We know that they play USC and UCLA after this week. What happens with UCLA? Are they just kind of mathematically out, just the way that things are working if they lose this game? Talk to me. What's on your mind? Tell me how you feel about this game overall.
Okay, so I was watching last night
Mm-hmm.
the Ducks versus them series that they have on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, some of the best shots I've ever seen in my entire life resides in that series. Like they do a phenomenal job from like a video production
Mm-hmm.
and just content, like pulling and ruffle my feathers. We swimming above Oregon. Last week, in fact, the last couple of weeks, whether it was the trip to Piscataway, whether it was Iowa, no matter what it seems to be, they just get put into different situations where we have to develop or shed new layers and see where we are, or shed some feathers in order to grow. Last they started talking about the warrior, the way of the warrior, essentially. A
Mm-hmm.
man has two choices. You can either be a man or you can be a warrior, and the second choice doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the philosophies that Dan Lanning is teaching his team. So, like, I don't feel like there's a more transformational coach in college football than Dan Lanning. And I'll stand on that hill. When it's almost like he uses every week as a blueprint to show his team a new checkpoint that they have to reach in the schedule. So I'm interested to see, after the week is over, what type of it's not even theatrics. It really is just mental like strategy that he executed with his team. That's the first thing. On USC side, Lincoln Riley, this is probably one of the biggest games in his career, in my opinion. Traveling to Autzen in a game where I think the last coach that won in Autzen was Lane Kiffin, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Kirk Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to deal with Kirk. I forgot about all about that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably not going to even.
Captain Kirk.
I still because Oregon still that loss hurts them so much, bro.
Yeah,
It
they're
hurts
not playing
the
in the
resume
champion.
so.
It's 100% Ohio State,
So they're
Indiana.
they're in the outside looking in, just like Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
USC, their run game is my favorite part about this team. They
Great take.
continue they continue to pound the rock
Mm-hmm.
and continue to make it very difficult on opposing teams to key in on this offense, because normally when you could just single out Makai Lemon,
Mm-hmm.
like you can feel like you have an advantage. Um, Look at the first half of Illinois, for example. Even most recently, when they got down and they had to claw back and fight in order to get the dub, they continue to share new layers about themselves too. So in reality, I feel like both of these teams are hitting their peak and their apex at the same time.
Mm.
And now we have for an ultimate collision course for two schools that desperately need this. Oregon, I think they get a win. It's almost like they're mathematically basically in the college football playoff. But if they don't,
Talk to me.
If they don't, then you open Pandora's box now. You start have to ask your questions about USC, Michigan. Open that whole conversation up because we still got to do Michigan, Ohio State in what next week? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm in a situation where you have good on good, big on big. One of the best defensive fronts in young defensive fronts in the nation with Oregon versus one of my favorite offensive lines in the country in USC. You have on the opposite side USC's offensive line. I mean Oregon's offensive line, who are some animals who continue to just run the rock, bro. They continue to run the rock. Both of these teams run the rock at such a high clip. It makes me think I want to take the under in this game naturally
Hmm.
because I feel like it can be more of a but they do show capacity to air it out. That's more like you can have the capacity to air it out when the game is on the line. I think that they shift and they adapt so much. So the fighting styles of this match feels like you have two unorthodox fighters that can switch. They can go. They can they can fight southpaw. Both of them. Like they can do different things. So I'm interested to know how the on-field chess match goes with the coordinators.
Hmm.
You got the head coach chess match that's there. The strategic with just personnel because USC can come out with all their tight ends, and now we start getting funky. Oregon was popping. Oregon could do the same thing and say, "All right, well, we got Whittington back here. We're gonna just give him the total. We got another running back here. We're just gonna give him some love." Or they can just air it out and say we're gonna trust more on the Korean more finally, or the rest of our cans deep. So it's players to love littered all over the field. This game is gonna have some draft picks in it. If you want to
Oh
watch
yeah.
a game that has
Scouts.
draft picks galore, this is the one. Uh, I didn't realize that Oregon USC heading into the year is going to be this big, this
A
huge of a
game of
game.
this a game of this magnitude.
But I feel like it is a playoff eliminator game. It feels like a
Possibly. Possibly for
possibly.
sure. Especially if Oregon go and lay an egg versus UCLA. Imagine
It
that.
cannot do that.
Imagine that. That would be crazy. So when I think about this game, a lot of it for me is we know Dan Lanning, every season for him is like an odyssey. And through that odyssey, the regular season, there's 12 different levels of that odyssey, and each and every level of the odyssey, like you was just telling about the man and the warrior, he presents different things to his program to get them prepared for each level of the odyssey. Now, the only level of the odyssey that they have failed so far was the odyssey. I don't remember which level it was against Indiana, right?
Yeah,
That was
Indiana.
that was at home. They also almost failed the Odyssey, but they was able to pass the Odyssey on the road, Kinnick Stadium, crazy environment. Not a lot of offense, but they were able to play some pretty daggone good defense. I think the interesting thing for me is how do we feel about Will Stein? Because we know Oregon fans, 1%er Oregon fans, like Ace Steezy. I had a feeling it was going to fall. That's why I kept looking at it. You can still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You
All right,
good?
so we got Oregon fans like
You a professional.
we got Oregon fans like my dog A. Steezy, who, while the rest of the country kind of loves Will Stein, he's not the biggest Will Stein fan. And for me, we are going to be looking at. I'm just going to hold it until I can get this thing right. That we go full screen of you, and I look at what the success that Phil Parker was able to have against Will Stein, and it makes me think: can Deanton Lynn have that same type of success? I'm just holding the mic at this point, right?
Hey,
And
what type of success do you feel from a ball type perspective?
well, USC in the past we've seen with Alex Grinch that they've gotten into games where it's the first to 42, 49. You know what I'm saying? I think the most points they've given up this season is 34. And they only got two losses on the season, but both of them were on the road. Irish game that I feel like they had an opportunity to win in South Bend, and another game against Illinois they had an opportunity to win. For me,
Should've won.
They should have won. They have to play sound football. But the difference in me and you hit on it earlier, and I was over you. You can't see me, but I was over here smiling. I'm like, this guy's really knee deep into ball talk because the tight end utilage that Lane Kiffin, I'm sorry, that Lincoln Riley. I always call Lincoln Riley Lane Kiffin and Lane Kiffin Lincoln Riley. Two of my favorite coaches. I don't know why I do that. Right, 6'7", right?
I feel like they're the same dude
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, they are the same person.
That's like his evil half brother or
Right,
something.
right, right, right. All right, he might as well join the Rileys. Garrett Riley, Lincoln Riley, and Lane Riley.
Oh, bro.
But for me, it's the tight end utilage this year, getting into heavier sets, finding for your star player to find a ball. You and I understand the air raid. You, I will put us up there. Yeah, I will put us up there when we start to talk about media personalities, and understanding the air raid. You and I are up there for our understanding of it and how the system dictates the success, not the players dictate the success. It's the X's and O's. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
the
It's going.
Jimmy and the
It's not the Jimmy and Joes. But this year, we've seen Lincoln Riley kind of find a way to make it a Jimmy and Joe's type of offense. What we've seen with Malachi Lemon and the utilization of the tight ends, I think is what been most amazing to me about this team this year. Seeing what Lake McRae, he has 24 catches on the season, also 2 touchdowns on the season. Walter Lyons got 16 catches on the season, another 2 touchdowns.
probably
So when
my
you look
favorite.
at and when you looking at that, and I was like, this guy's talking about tight ends. I was like, that's exactly what I was about to talk about.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's crazy for me. And then they have the ability to run the ball. Mayava isn't going to turn the ball over too much. I think his interceptions have went up though over the past few weeks. There's a lot.
They've been trying some more different. They've been trying a
They
little bit
have
more funkier personnel and play calls. So
something that you and I talk about a lot is having a lot of different ways to win games. That's what matters to us when we're doing our eye tests and we're looking at teams. Can you win the way Texas A&M? I keep saying, oh yeah, Texas A&M has the most ways to win a game. Could they win down 27 at halftime? I didn't think that was in Texas A&M, but we seen USC win some games in different ways. High scoring, low scoring, physical beatdown because the coach of Michigan, Jerome Moore, wants to get disrespectful coming onto our turf. But we're gonna put hands and feet upon you. We've seen them get crazy in the pass game when Lemon can't be stopped. We've seen them go crazy in the run game, and it ain't even just one running back. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple running backs. They get glitchy for these
it's
dudes.
ridiculous, bro.
King Miller, Raymond Jordan, Eli Sanders, and actually Eli Sanders, because I use USC online. I just won my last championship. I haven't lost a game with USC in probably like 15 games. No
Which one
cap.
is the freshman?
The freshman is King Miller. And he's the one that leads them in yardage right now. But they have running backs that they could just throw at you. This team, I think, plays complementary football, and that's something that during the Alex Grinch era of USC, I thought we'll never see. So let's get down to
I
game
get that
time.
100%, bro. Because like what you said, the complimentary football. When you have everything working for you in those ways, it makes it easier to be a defensive coordinator because you can actually not have to like the pressure is all on you every single other series because your offense can't help you and bail you out. We've seen USC call back. If there's two teams that have showcased the ability, like you said, to give multiple variations or be a chameleon to their environment and adapt to whatever is necessary to win, then that's USC and Oregon. The thing is, I'm gonna look y'all dead into the camera and tell you a fact. Oregon cannot have two losses in conference at home in Autzen, one of the toughest places to play in America. That's what they said. You can't have two losses at home. College football playoff committee gonna be in a tough situation. They already trying to dock you down lower, Oregon. They already trying to find any type of reason, excuse, any type of thing to try to put you down lower and put you out of position. They got you right now in between, Alabama, Notre Dame, and all this. You lose this week. Not saying that you are. Don't put my face up there on the screen talking about Moon's picking against y'all. Don't do it. I ain't Kurt Street, you know? I ain't about to wish. No. All I'm saying, don't have two losses at home and we can really start to be able to have positive conversations about the Ducks and their playoff futures. You lose, you make that very complicated, and we can't blame anybody else besides you, Oregon. We need explosiveness this week. Y'all might have to dive deeper into the pass attack this week. This has been a constant theme as far as explosiveness for the last two 2+ years. So this is not a new thing. They have been showcasing to me though, hey, they can do it in the run game. They can if they choose to just come downhill and say, hey, they've been talking all this noise, we want to just run the rock. Oregon best believe can do that. I believe it. But the same thing goes for the opponent. See, what happens when you go to Iowa is you deal with the team that's still trying to figure out their quarterback position, still trying to give more on his plate. But what happens when you actually got dudes on the other notch? It starts being about the way of the samurai, and realize that like this team right here that you're playing this week, they're not about to like take their foot off the gas at all. And then on USC side, if I had to flip perspective, USC, y'all have to. Y'all can't lay no egg or get in no down situations this week. It can't be a claw back week. It has to be a get out on the road and get ahead. Get up. I need to look at the score in the first quarter, and it should be USC 7-0 already started. It should be USC scoring and by the way of running the ball, explosiveness. Makai Lemon got to get peppered with touches. Running backs. Allow the screen games to go crazy. If the run game is not working, utilize it as an extension of the run. Whatever you have to do. Whatever you have to do in order to make it possible. Perfect. And then as far as the defense, I need pass rush to stay alive because you showed over the course of weeks. If you can get to this offensive line and get on the edges, you might can have a little bit of success. Pass rush needs to come alive. Run defense has to be solid. And I mean solid because Oregon will run the ball and just keep going. And then now you're in a weird situation trying to catch up on the road. So I need the best efforts from both of these teams. This could be a classic. This has the makings of a classic game in the college football season. Like where we look back and we say, dang, I didn't expect in week 13 that we would get one of the best games all year. We just had to wait a little bit. So that's my tail of the tape. Oregon can't lose two home games, and Autzen can't happen, can't happen. And USC, we understand, we understand what it's been like so far. USC, we've been taking you seriously. I told y'all to begin the season that we should take USC seriously. Their fan base is gonna travel amazingly. I can bet they're gonna travel to up there to Eugene. It's just gonna be a beautiful game. You got just it just feels like a history matchup. Perfect for week 13, right before we get into rivalry week. And it's looking like a gym. You good, governor?
Yeah, we good. We good. We good. We getting it. We getting it configured, man.
We're getting configured. Hey, you feel like Lincoln Riley in the lab right now, bro.
Hey, man, I'm blaming Foots, man. Foots, if you watching, it's your fault, man.
He blaming Foots, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you. So I'm gonna keep cooking. Since I'm trying to figure this out right now. Another thing I want to talk about, like what you said, is the tight ends. The way that they've been getting active, like King Sadiq, for example. King Sadiq's going to be NFL draft scout's dream. You want to talk about somebody you salivate over? Like it's a Chick-fil-A meal? Look no further than
Hey,
King
I'm back,
Sadiq.
man. They try to knock me
Hey,
down, nigga.
welcome back.
I'm back, man. Come on, man. Hey,
You
man,
gave
Moon, you a warrior, man. You what Dan Later was talking about Playboy. I was over here like, man, I knew I should have fixed it earlier. So like, you haven't met Foots, haven't you? So
not yet,
you
but
don't know Foots is like 6'7", bro. So you know what I'm saying. So he's about
oh,
to
you
drop.
had to raise it.
Yeah, so he's about to drop an album, and you know what I'm saying. And so, I got this joint back here, so you can lift the mic, like literally all the way up. I did that. So he can, he can record, came over here, his album dropping in a month, it's gonna be fire. I'm the engineer. I did
Hey,
my thing.
make sure you check it out.
Hey, it's gonna be fire. Yeah, we haven't copyrighted everything yet, so I can't tell y'all what the name of it is. But once I copyright it, I will let everybody know. So yes, I like a lot of what you had to say. But there's one thing that we can't let either one of us get away with. Who's winning the game, brother? Boom, 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 boom.
Fight on! Fight on! Fight on!
You about to make
Fight
me?
on!
You about to make me pull a
Fight
boot pad
on!
out? He said, "Fight on."
Fight on! Who you picking? Fight on!
you, why you picking?
Just not today. Oregon's gonna get the dub, baby.
Oh wow, you hit us with the Lee Corso, man.
Look, Oregon, I'm tired of betting against you, dog. It only happened once, but it only takes me once. You know? It only takes me once. Iowa, I thought y'all boys was cooked. I thought y'all was cooked. Iowa had y'all on the ropes
Uh huh.
like Drago did Rocky.
Yeah, for sure.
And y'all find a way to come back. I think, I'm just saying, I think the difference will be the defense and playmaking on the outside for Oregon and their young guys. That will be the difference. Oregon wins in a thriller 28-25. I'm going to say it barely hits the under because I think they're going to raise the over under in this game. Raise it.
Lincoln Riley gets his first staple victory as the head coach. His very first. One of those when you think about his legacy and its importance and the lore at the University of Southern California. He gets that staple victory. For me, it's one. I think you were the first person that kind of started mentioning USC. USC was on my mind a lot last year, especially after Lane Kiffin said he likes what's being built there, and that kind of surprised me. Them going to the Big Ten and the adjustments. I wasn't sure that they can play the ugly lunch pail blue collar football that you have to be able to play in the Big Ten. They've proven that they can play that. They've proven they can get in a scoring fest. They've proven they can win at eight. They can prove they can win in ugly ways. Like we seen them go on Lincoln and winning in the ugly fashion. We seen them play Iowa being down against a really good team and having to put up points against a Phil Parker team. This team has the ability to win a lot of games, and I think Lincoln Riley gets his first win. It's hard to bet against Dan Lanning, period. Especially Dan Lanning and Autzen and Eugene. You just don't do it. But for me, I'm gonna go with Ace Steezy on this one. He don't trust Will Stein as a play caller. Hopefully, DeAnton Lynn can get ahead of him in this game, and it just kind of make them uncomfortable offensively. Give me USC to win this game.
What's your score? Is it close?
I don't think it's as high scoring as everybody else would think. I think
Okay.
it's like one of those 24-21s, like, you know what I'm saying, walk off
Okay.
field goal. And I
Yeah, I
don't
had
know,
28-25.
28-25, I could certainly see a 28-25 type ordeal as well.
I'm super excited for that game, bro. I'm super excited. Can't
How are
wait.
you with Dante Moore? Where you at with him? I think he's
I
playing
see everything
outstanding
is
this year.
going on schedule. It's just the
Hmm.
fact that Oregon lost to Indiana. See, like if that didn't happen, then my prediction would have been working. I predicted
Hmm.
he was going to do, in the offseason preview, the season was going to be tough, but he's been
Hmm.
handling it how I thought he would, with ice cold in his veins, with that Detroit bend never break. You can send whatever at me, and I'm gonna be
Hmm.
do for it tough. He got that. He got that bravado now.
Hmm.
He got the coach's trust now, and it's crazy watching the docu series and then seeing them say, "We got Dante. We need it here. We need it," and then you see him deliver, and then you see
Hmm.
how everybody's like, "We trust you." Like
Hmm.
that's our guy, and I think this team rallies behind him in a way that I don't even want to compare it to past quarterbacks.
Hmm.
For where it is right now, I'm very happy with what it is. Like people can get enamored and fall in love with the stats, more or less, all that type of vibe. But just how he's been handling it for what it is, Could we see more explosiveness? Yes, but they
Hmm.
show it at times. Like if you flip the picture and just look big picture beyond Dante Moore, who was Dan Lanning with prior to coming to Oregon?
With
Kirby
Georgia.
Smart.
Yep.
Georgia and Kirby Smart. What am I quoted in saying that Kirby Smart would be compared to if he was ice cream flavor? Vanilla.
Vanilla. Yep.
If I'm a lineage of that guy, then I
Hmm.
must be a vanilla bean.
That's
So
what.
Dan Lanning is a vanilla type of too. He wants to do
Mhm.
whatever is necessary to adapt and adjust to whatever we have to do.
That's
That's where
true.
he's a little bit different.
Mhm.
Georgia's like
What is he like? Regular season play alone with not 13. He's what went 8-0 in the conference last year. He's got 2 games left now, and he's 5-1. So yeah, what is he, 13-1 since he joined the conference? That's incredible. That's truly incredible. So yeah, he does a lot of winning. Let's talk about this Pitt Georgia Tech game. A guy that we like a lot, and Pat Narduzzi ruffled some feathers last week, and their play really pissed me off. What's today?
another day that we can skip past Pat Narduzzi.
Yeah. Talk to me about Georgia Tech. I didn't get my picks in.
Oh, for the league, we gotta get them in. Georgia Tech, Pete, big game. Your boy Mo's hoping to be there Saturday night under the lights. Bobby Dodd, Britt Key has been on his team's head tops this entire week. He came out in Tuesday's presser and said, "Look, the energy is raised. It starts with me and it's going down to everybody else. From Blake Gideon, we meet with him on Sundays, and he had to be held accountable. We're gonna start with the elephants in the room.
Hmm.
I ain't no fair weather fan. We start with the elephants in the room. We got cooked against Boston College. You want to know why it happened? Because Boston College said we don't y'all system that y'all running this 4-2-5. Oh, we about to dice it up and we about to do it with meshes and we about to do it with all types of crossing routes. If you just look at the film, that's what it was. I watched the game on half speed. The highlights on half speed.
Having a little bit of technical difficulties. Mo should be back with us, and there he is. He's back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We back. We good.
Georgia Tech basically is going to be a different team this week, and it's not like they can change their identity overnight.
Hmm.
But I think when it comes to intensity, yes, like intensity, attention to detail, live tackling in practice, so they can get better with the tackling. Because there's no need to avoid it and just avoid the elephant in the room. That's what I like about Brent Key. He don't try to avoid the hot topic conversations and just sweep them up
Hmm.
underneath the rug. Like
I felt like you were taking a shot when you said that. There's a program who I'm not going to name, and I'm waiting for Moon to get back in here. Uh,
so, that's my thing. I want
I,
to know
were you
how
was that
does
like a slight
come alive. That's
subliminal?
one of the things that has been worried me the most
I
about
don't think
Georgia.
you hear me.
Their pass rush or inability to get a pass rush deeply concerns me, bro. And deeply, like at this point, it's like you have to get pressure and send blitzes now because we're not getting home
Hmm.
with just four. You can't do that against this freshman quarterback from Pitt because if he has enough time, he was going to be able to survey scan and he showcased a track record throughout this history of time this year that he can do that. You think Dylan Lonergan was a problem last week, Georgia Tech? Oh, you ain't seen nothing. I don't in their offense, in their scheme, and what they trying to do to you is a problem. Desmond Reed, positive news that he can play for this week, but even if he's out of the lineup, Pitt has showcased the ability exception of the Notre Dame game, that they can be a high powered offense and they can lean into other ways, whether it's the snitches of the run game, whether it's their blocking schemes and changing that to adapt. Like they can really uh, showcase their true colors and their true layers. And the defense for Pitt is probably going to be the biggest matchup chess piece because that's strength on strength. Georgia Tech's offense has been, in my opinion, a juggernaut in college football this year. And they have been in a situation where not only is Haynes King for Heisman should be trending, in my opinion, still there, but I think he's also going to work his way.
I see if he say yeah, he's back.
We good, brother?
Yeah,
We good.
yeah.
I
Can you
don't
hear me?
know what the last thing they heard me say was, but wrapping it up,
Mm-hmm.
Brinky has been on his team's hind parts this week, like lighting a fire up under them because this is essentially their championship game. Um, that is abundantly clear from the press conferences, what I'm hearing from the players and all of that. From Pitt's side, it seems like Carson Andrews said, "We'll take a mulligan this past week and we'll go all
You
systems
can't
go."
do that. You can't do that in college football. You can't turn it
Nope,
off and turn it on.
nope,
That's just not possible.
nope. No, you trying to turn it off and turn it on? Okay, cool. Your water heater don't work though.
Facts.
You ain't getting hot. Why? It's not a heavy situation. So Pitt's defense, they getting back to health. I'm looking forward to see that matchup the most between Pitt's defense and Georgia Tech's offense.
Mm.
We see all types of. But the thing is, the reason why Boston College has so much success against Georgia Tech in their defense, and the reason everybody's saying fix the defense, fix the defense. You need to fix the defense. The defense is so bad, but this defense kept us in the game against Clemson. This defense, when it had a short field and a fumbled snap, came back and stopped and
Mm.
from getting touchdowns. There's been more than enough opportunities to showcase that this defense still has players that can be productive if they just get out of their own ways and play with confidence. However, I'm nervous, bro. I am nervous, and the main
I
reason,
don't. I don't think you should be.
the reason why is just because Boston College had so much success with guards that pull.
Hmm.
They did that in the passing game. They did that in the running game.
Right.
In fact, it was guard pull, fullback pull. If you're talking about for ball talk, guard pull, fullback pull. There was just consistent. No, even in the passing game on play actions, guard pulling now.
Right. Just to carry out the run action.
Yeah,
So
just
yeah.
in the linebackers. Guess what they were doing?
What?
Flying upfield and then
Hmm.
dropping back. But by then, you shouldn't be that caught up in the play action thing. Now, when Turbo Richard actually goes crazy, now when the running game starts to look to life, nobody wants to tackle. But just because you're out of position, and in my opinion, Boston College did outside of their coach losing them the game,
Hmm.
they did a phenomenal job of literally guard pull, like getting the ball out to the perimeter, getting it in meshing routes and all that. We're not even gonna do the '90s series and everything for the air raid people. Just crossing routes, people. They did a lot of it against Georgia Tech and Boston College. Pitt, if you're watching that film, go watch it because that's easily how you could exploit this defense. It's easy.
I,
However,
that's only one way to beat Georgia Tech, and you gotta be able to put up points and punches the way NC State was able to do it. Penn State's not that type of team. We've seen the games that they, probably with the exception of Florida State, the games that they've had to put up points to win the game. I think Florida State's the exception. We've seen Louisville. They got in a shootout with Louisville. Louisville was able to handle business. I'm sick of Pitt. They're such a good team. They're frustrating, bro. I'm just sick of Pitt.
but just because you're frustrated don't mean that we not gonna get cooked though. Like
Nah, but I
I
mean,
feel like we about to get cooked, dog.
at the end of the day, we seen you guys lose to NC State because they was able to score points and bunches. And what Wake Forest was able to do, they was able to play outstanding defense against you all until Haynes King said, all right, I'm going to put my cape on and let's go out here and get this win. You know what I'm saying? And he did that in the second half, but they was able to jump out to an early lead. They were up, I think, 18 in the middle of the third or heading into the fourth quarter. They was just playing outstanding defense. Can Pitt play outstanding defense? I think every year You look at a team on your schedule, you're like, damn, we did struggle with them a little bit, didn't we? Georgia struggling with Auburn a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you just have those type of games. We saw Ole Miss lose a game to both Kentucky and Florida, where on paper they were the better teams a season ago. We seem to struggle with Florida this year as well. So I can understand a concern as a fan, and you do the same thing that Jalen do, and the same thing that Nino does. You guys are really hard on your teams, and just because you know how great this team could be, you know that this is a college football playoff team. You know how important this
I'm
game is.
also honest.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
them boys literally can't get no pass rush. How we about to stop anybody with no pass rush? Our secondary, it's a combination. It's a marriage.
Hmm.
Something is unequally yoked.
But when you talk about a team that can run the ball the way that you all can run the ball, we saw the success that Notre Dame has on the ground. The difference between y'all and Notre Dame, y'all quarterback get active. So
Yeah,
then instead of it being,
just Jeremiah and
yeah,
Kadarian.
instead of it being, what is it, 9 out of the 11 people being blocked, now you have 10 out of 11 people being blocked. We're one of the most dangerous, players in the game,
Hey,
quarterback or running back, being able to run the ball. I just don't.
no debate. I have no debate.
I just don't see it. And granted, I do believe Pitt is a good team, regardless of what we saw last week and how I felt about Narduzzi's comments. Like I said, I do respect him. I do think
You
now,
picked them.
now, let me ask you this: do you think they prepare for Notre Dame at all, and they just put all their eggs in the basket of we need to beat Tech, and I forget who they played the last game of the season?
Man, based on that press
We can.
conference after the game and his pregame speech,
That's scary though if you did that, but it could be sneaky smart at
I
the same
waxed.
time because they got y'all and they got Miami. And
I mean,
I,
everybody is hoping on Pitt to do the unthinkable. And I it's not like they were. We got finally got help from the back end with Harvey being bad.
mm-hmm.
Like I wish they would please play Tay Harris more, please. Like, did you see him deplete somebody last week?
I did actually.
Tay Harris came down from a too high safety look and
Mhm.
came down on a crossing pattern on the tight end and said, and knocked that
Yeah,
boy out.
I have no
They tried
investment
to
for
call a
Boston
flag
College
and say,
at
"Oh,
all.
it's targeting, bro." They said it's targeting. I said, "No, it's not." That man led with his shoulder. Said, said
I
Taylor is
refuse
not
to watch
playing. Get
Boston
that man
College,
all the
brother.
snaps. But I get it. Hey, it's senior night in the Dodd at nighttime. Well, I
Hmm.
bet against Georgia Tech. But all I'm saying is that if we can't get pass rush, dog, I don't know. I don't know.
I, I, it's funny. I've been in this seat countless times, and I've seen you do it. I've seen Jalen do it. I'm seeing you do it now. I do it as a Bills fan, so I understand it. But as somebody that has no
So
investment with
if we get cooked, right?
either team,
If we get cooked, you
mhm.
gonna star me out. You ain't gonna roast me on Saturday night show after
If
the
y'all,
game.
no. If y'all could cook, I'd be like, nah, you called it. Like that's all I'm gonna say. Like I ain't gonna never. I'm an assist guy, bro. I don't do no what the young kids call it these days, dirty Mac and shit.
Dirty.
I don't do that, bro. I don't. I ain't, I ain't that type of person, man. I'm from 11th Street, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't move
Hey,
like
all I
that,
know is I'm
Playboy.
gonna turn in every moon if
Mm.
they lose this weekend, bro.
Oh man, they gonna have to arrest you at Bobby Dodd this weekend if y'all lose that game, bro. But like I said, y'all have come too close, and Brent Key is such a phenomenal coach. Taking nothing away from Pat Narduzzi, because I mean you look at his resume. But let's move along. Let's BYU Cincinnati. How you feeling about this game? I I
Trap
have a thought
possibly.
about this game. I have a thought about. I picked Cincinnati. I'm gonna just go out there and say it. They've played as awful as you can see a team play these last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and I believe Narduzzi. I said Narduzzi. Wow, my bad, Pat Narduzzi. I believe Coach Satterfield is going to have this team ready to compete in this game. I really do. That would suck for BYU. It really would. But I think is the Big 12 pretty much locked up? Like it's already a four. Yeah, Utah still has a chance, right?
I think Utah does,
Yeah,
but
even though BYU got them
Arizona
head to
State
head.
still has a chance if I'm not
Do they?
mistaken.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be interesting. So, what's your overall thought about this game right here?
Bear, bear, bear. I want to see Bear Barkmeyer again. I miss him. Like watching more and more of his film, I get so many just great feelings about where he could be. I understand he's like still raw as a prospect, so you kind of like got to grade him on a curve in a lot of ways, and then you have to put into the fact where their offense is. I think Bear. I just want to see the evolution of throwing outside the numbers. If you got to be very much specific,
Like
throwing
purple.
outside the numbers in the intermediate and deep areas of the field, that's going to be a difference in this game. Because you got the speed on the outside with Chase Roberts, and you still got some talent outside of him. You got speed galore. You got special teams that can ball out at any given moment, and they showcased it throughout this season. They've also showcased that their offensive line can have some physicality and lean into the run game more with LJ Martin. But I think Barrett doesn't have to be Superman in order for them to get this dub. But it would be great if he did go into the phone booth and make that one call. That's all. It would be great. It would be great to see him have one of those masterful performances where he can, take us into a time warp and make you feel like he's a senior when he's playing behind his years. Like he's just a fascinating prospect. And then from the other side, the defense for BYU continues to impress me. I know people love to roast them for the Texas Tech game, but their defense kind of kept them in that game from making it even worse than what it was. So we forward some time, 2 weeks in advance, and where I feel about BYU's defense, I'm happy. They still gotta. I think that anybody can get better at tackling, but I want to see them continue with their violent streak. Their defensive line, I'm loving where they're using their hands. I want to see they're going to need it this week against the offensive line that I think is only giving up 2 sacks the entire season.
That's
So
incredible.
Cincinnati's offensive line is incredible. We talked to our dog in the offseason at Big 12 Media Days, and he let us know that it was coming. So to see him hold true to his word and Cincinnati's offensive line is really up there. I think that's going to be a really good test. Cincinnati's offensive line versus BYU's defensive line. The secondary, I mean, they got running backs with Pryor, Walker on Cincinnati. But at the same time, is Swordsby playing?
I believe he is playing. Let me check the injury report.
For me, it's you at home. Like these fans got to come out and show out and support. I feel like they will. BYU has had to play. If you look at their road game schedule, this road game schedule has been brutal in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's tough in that conference.
Yeah, going on
Yeah,
the road.
he's probable. I thought I had seen that somewhere. So when I
Finally.
yeah, he's probable.
So
Oh, Jalen said the mic stand broke. Yeah, the mic stand broke. That wasn't a happy tour yet. Yeah, you're right about that. But also my sound quality with a
he
Yeti
trolling.
is it's not the same in OBS, brother. It's a nice mic though. It's
Oh,
on.
bro.
It's the relief picture. I got it on standby. You feel me? But yeah, so I think my overall thoughts about this game is a couple things. One, Moon talked earlier about Bear Backmeyer possibly having to, put his cape on this weekend. And I think the guy that can go into a phone booth and has the ability to put his cape on is Brendan Sorsby. He's played incredible this year. And I know the Utah game in the eyes of many scouts, because you know how scouts are as it pertains to playing at the next level. It's like weird idiosyncrasies with going from college, looking at what we look at as an eye test versus what they see at the NFL level. So I know his stock has fallen a little bit. But if there's a guy against a defense that plays so outstanding, as dominant
I mean, all the
as
quarterbacks
as uh,
as well.
as dominant as Texas Tech was, they did struggle in the red area. I think earlier in the year when we looked at a
Yeah.
game, and it's difficult to go to Cincinnati and get a win. We looked at a team. Iowa State was red hot, undefeated. Came to Cincinnati, they left with an L, and then it started this is how you beat Iowa State tape. The tape is out there on how to beat BYU. Yes, Utah didn't secure the victory, but the tape is out there. How do you play them defensively? We saw how Texas Tech. Granted, Cincinnati don't have Romello Height on their team. They don't have David Bailey on their team. They don't have Rodriguez at middle linebacker on their team. But granted, the tape is out there on how to contain them. I believe
Got Dante
for sure. And
Corleone.
we know he's gonna cause havoc. And they put him all over the line. It's not just at 0 tech. It's not just at 2 tech. You'll see him at 3 tech. They kind of put him everywhere on that defensive line.
This man gonna
I
get
really think
paid.
this is a great matchup for Cincinnati. Where the Yeah, I'm one hundred
You
percent
picking
picking Cincy.
Cincy?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. No
A
doubt in my
hundred
mind I'm picking
percent.
Cincy. How many games have we seen BYU win that they won the game, but they had opportunities to lose? No. You know what I'm
Every
saying?
one outside of
Yeah,
Portland
that was another
State.
game they kind of handled. Mhm.
ECU was tough
Mhm.
because I was on the road and I felt like they just kind of like
Yeah.
said, "What's up, ECU? What's up,
you,
Greenville? F
you know what I'm saying? So
you, give
I
me
look
Bill."
at this team and I say that they could be in a vulnerable state. Hey, we know what we need to do to be able to play in the Big 12 championship. And there's a conversation people aren't ready to have. Guess who squandered their opportunity to play in the Big 12 championship last year as well? Guess who was red hot in the beginning of the season and they squandered that opportunity towards the end of the season?
Oh, so you think they're gonna spiral?
The tape is out, bro. The tape is out. Uh,
If we spiral, then we need to have some real serious conversations about
a hundred
competition.
percent, and I agree with you. And I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about this game. I looked at last year. BYU controlled their own destiny. Colorado controlled their own destiny. You're calling for anarchy. Well, it's coming by the way of the Big 12. We're going to get some anarchy in the Big 12.
No, wait, chill, chill, chill. Stop me out, bro. Stop me out, please. So you said they only getting one team in,
Yeah,
so we
they're
just
only
need to
getting one.
blow the
Big
whole
12 is
thing
yeah.
out. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Big 12 is definitely only getting one team in, brother. I hate to say it. You know I'm a Big 12 stan, bro.
Hey,
I hate to say it.
if it had to be any week
It
that it
would
happened, it would be
hundred
this
percent.
week, right?
So who you got winning this game?
I mean,
Yeah.
I got BYU, and I'm gonna take Big Bear, but I'm confident to see how does the offensive
Mm,
line of Cincy mesh with the defensive line of BYU. That's gonna be my thing I'm watching the most. I'm gonna be watching the trenches more than I'm watching the outside play.
spectacular.
That's
Uh,
if they get it out there. That and Bear
mhm.
Bachmeyer throwing outside the numbers. Brendan Sorsby, I want to see him
Yeah,
use his
he's
legs
a better
more.
runner than he's given credit for. I like
Honestly,
that take actually.
yeah. Like I feel like their offense goes to another level when he is.
Yeah.
Because he don't have to just rely on just a running back game. We can actually
Hmm.
had to, like Oklahoma take the 10th man in it. Even if we can get like 5 to 7 design runs,
I'd be
possibly,
happy with that.
maybe.
For sure. But he's also
I'll be
coming off an
happy.
injury, and even though he's going to play this weekend, we need to see what that looks like. What limitations?
Hey, what Kobe said? What Kobe said?
Hey, you can say that in basketball. I played basketball, played it at a high level.
Hey,
Played with Jared Gaither, played with Fowler Campbell, who played at George Mason when they went on their little miracle run. It's a difference. it
hey, that was a fun
was,
run.
it
That was a
was, it
fun run.
was, it was an outstanding run. So let's get to the game that, in the eyes of our viewers, I'm skipping the game. I wanted to skip you so badly. I wanted to. I ain't gonna skip you just yet. Let's talk about this Missouri and Oklahoma game. We are so different here. We are so different. I'm so excited to talk about this Tulane and Temple game. I was about to skip over the SEC game.
I wanted to skip over this one.
No talk, no. It won't be no ish. Tulane versus Temple. It's now 1 o'clock. We'll cover that other game tomorrow on College Football Showdown with me and Jalen. Well, we go live. This game is the
Hey,
big enchilada. I think this is the biggest game of the week. I think
yeah.
USC and Oregon is big.
And
And
people
they
might
will.
call us
They
crazy,
will.
but guess what? Tulane's on the group of five
And
seat for the
they're thinking
playoff.
like we're thinking. Strength of schedule. Whoever wins the American is going to be your winner. JMU, we don't care you beat App State by 50. Other teams have done it too. We don't care. And I love that the committee did that. I
Hey,
love. I
side note. I watched Elijah
Uh-huh.
Barnett's press
Hmm.
conference.
The
Elijah
third.
Barnett the
Yeah.
third. My bad. The third. Listen, that man said we only got one mentality. That's this
Wow.
week is to kill. We don't care about nothing else. Like we trying to kill. I said,
Wowzers.
oh.
So we
But keep
got we
going,
got
keep going.
Tulane, we got Temple. This is in Philadelphia. Uh, Casey Killer. I don't think people get it when we talk about these coaches, and there's just certain coaches we talk about, and y'all see we will never disrespect them. I challenge any of you. American wants you to come there. They want more. There was not enough media presence there. There were 3 radio row tables there. The only table that was live, the only table that had video, was the CFB Nation. Y'all ready?
That's
And
bad.
apply. It was in Charlotte. I don't know where they having it at this year. I don't know if Charlotte is their hub because I always believe Texas was their hub. It don't. It don't
Man,
matter
they
where
can
they
have
have
that
it.
junk on the
I'm going.
moon.
That's
I'm still showing.
the Big 12 and there's the places that American being one, Big 12 being the second are the two places I want to go. I'm sorry, Big 12 you're gonna have to scoot down to 3. American, Pac-12, Big 12.
Let's
You know what I'm saying?
go. Let's go. You, my
So
friend, are a
this year,
hero. I love it.
something special happened at the American Media Days. We saw Jalen sit down with who did Jalen sit down with? Was it Jeff Trailer?
He sat
And he
down
said
with Coach Trailer, I think, and he sat down
Morris.
with Coach Morris
I,
for North
I,
Texas.
I saw
He
you
sat down
have a
with
seat. He did talk to Coach Morris at North Texas. I saw you have a great discussion with Coach Ryan Silverfield of Memphis. That Casey Killer conversation, bro. Where
I
you?
was
Where
just
you? I,
watching it the
I
other
need to
day.
go
It's
back
crazy.
and watch it. And he talked about his time at Sam Houston. Tell us about some of those conversations and why we respect Casey Killer the way we respect Casey Killer.
So first off, if you're talking about like coaches that do
Mm,
it the right way, how do you we can just start there. Number two, like or not even number
mm,
two yet. 1A, how he wants to build his team. He said, I want to go high school first. I want to recruit the region.
ding,
I want
ding,
to
ding,
recruit
ding,
where we
ding.
are. We dominate that. We don't want to just put this with transfer portal mercenaries coming in. We don't care about that. We'll just add that if we have a piece that's
Yeah.
missing. He's that type of coach. He wants to go heavy
We
high
talk
school
about
recruiting,
eighty-seven
a little
thirteen,
sprinkle of the
88-12.
portal,
That's where you want to be at.
and
Hmm.
maybe even 90-10. Not even 90-10. And now they're getting more buy-in because they actually win it. And then he made the promise in the offseason, said, no more 3-win season Temple. I
And there
said,
you
all
have
right,
it.
coach. But now we look at who we are, and we're like,
Yeah.
hold on, hold on. So then he's just really like, he knows X's and
And
O's. We
then
didn't
they
even
get, yeah.
talk about X's and O's, and we still talked
Hmm.
for like 30 minutes. And he talked about how he wants to build a program, how he's been getting support from the boosters, the donors. He has good relationships with them. He wanted to take this job, and he had more hope for kids that were on his coaching that he was coaching that was like 0-9 than he did for a team that he was coaching that
Mm-hmm.
was undefeated. And he know how to get it through the mud. He's been at multiple stops, no matter where, like Texas to now where he's at in Temple. Like he's a proven winner. FCS ranks. Just look at that. So then that's one A. Two, he's a family man, but he does know how to leave that to the back burner and tap into just being an absolute dog. I could just feel it, bro. Like he is an intense competitor. Like he wants to win. He said, being in the American Conference, we have to focus on getting stronger and getting better in the trenches because a lot of these games come down to one scores. And if we want to be on the opposite side of those one score games, we're gonna have to do something different. So our strength and conditioning staff, they had to go higher on the list. Like they in their priorities. They've been cashing out. And we see them be in a one possession game with
Mm-hmm.
Navy. With
Had him 100% on the
Navy.
ropes.
The goat was screaming, bad, bad. Like they had
They
them boys
did.
on the ropes. Then you see, then you have other times when you don't feel like they
Mhm.
showed up. Okay, I get it. I get it. They're still trying
They
to get
played
out
a
that
tough
all
non-con schedule
temple
too, which
thing,
is
but
I think that prepared them for now.
they played
Oklahoma.
Georgia Tech
Hmm.
in Athens,
Hmm.
Oklahoma. I mean, I said in Athens. I'm
Wow.
tweaking. Sorry, Georgia
Wow.
Tech fans. Please
Stall
throw me
my
out.
dog out before I
Please,
punch you.
please,
Just go ahead. Just go
please.
ahead.
It's been a
Don't
long
stall
day.
him out, yeah.
Oh man, they played Georgia Tech at Bobby
Hmm.
Dodd.
Hmm.
They played Oklahoma
At
on
home,
the
which
road. Well,
which
no, I
is
mean at home,
odd.
and
They
got
did.
BT
All of that's
and
prepared them to play a team
it
of
wasn't.
Tulane stature. Now, how you feeling?
I'm picking Temple and I'm riding till the wheels fall
Hey!
off, baby. We picking Temple and we riding Tulane. Guess what?
Mm-mm.
Your coach just came out and literally said this just we not a top 25 team. I don't know who's ranking us or who's been watching us. They must not been watching us for real because we're not a top 25 team. And I said, really? It's interesting that you say that. Like, for real, for real. Is when you started entertaining noise about you going for the LSU job and your team just bad. Like, it was bad. So it took me, John Summerhall took his name out of it. But then it's like, is it awareness of your team? Because I can respect that. Or is this some of this old Pat Narduzzi? Let me just throw some stuff out there to make them go over here, but they need to be paying attention right here. I don't know. But Tulane, if you're talking about just ball talk, I'm so happy that they are giving Retzlaff the keys and saying, bro,
He's looked really good lately.
throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're a quarterback. You're not our RB1.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to throw. And he's been saying, okay, cool. I'll do
You
it from the
think that was a
pocket.
trust factor thing?
Yeah, I think
Coach
they
Summerall?
still trying
Yeah.
to. I feel like they still
Cause
like
he got in late. He got we when you say late, we mean really
really
late.
late.
Yeah.
So I feel like they still trying to figure out who he is. Maybe when he still got there, they're like, okay, yeah, okay, Jake.
Hey
But you mean
man,
Jake from State
imagine a
Farm?
player. That's hilarious. Imagine a player break the honor code, bruh, during the spring this year, and the portal window is already gone. You got to sit out the entire year, buddy.
Dang.
Like people got to be like, it's gonna be such a short window. But Evan Simon, I think, is a name that people aren't talking about enough. 22 touchdowns, 1 interception. Did you
He didn't
know?
have a pick. Did he have a pick? Or his only pick came against Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Did you know that the ninth worst passing defense in the country? You probably did know this because you've seen UTSA put up points in them in bunches. It's Tulane. They have the ninth worst passing defense in the country.
Oh boy.
and, and Evan Simon is ready to go. I like Temple in this game for all of the reasons that you stated. This at 3:45 p.m. I don't give a damn what's on. Well, actually, I'll be in Maryland, so I'm not gonna be able to watch it. I'm gonna be frustrated, but I will be
I'm gonna send you the link
ESPN.
to watch
Yeah,
it.
I'll be Gamecast watching because I do want to see Bryce Underwood and company. Uh, and I love, Moon knows I like to get there super early because that's when you see
Yeah.
the coaches run out and you can talk to scouts and the same stuff Moon was doing last week. So I can't wait to go to the game. We got one final game on the slate. Talk to me about the job Hawaii has done this year. And it was Memphis bleak a few years ago. But think about what they've been able to do this year. Yeah, Hawaii. Talk to me about Hawaii.
Oh man, Rainbow Warriors. Oh boy. I mean, just let your
I still can't
soul
believe what they
flow.
did to the San Diego State. I,
Listen,
I,
man.
I still can't believe it.
San Diego State was walking around, but they had high. They still should
Hmm.
because they have a very great season. Like San Diego State, I think y'all still very much so in the conference race. So Moon is not throwing shots at you when I say this, but
At all.
boy, they said, "Look, y'all not who we think y'all are. Let's pull off the mask, Scooby Doo. Where are you?" And
You know
then
what the Scooby
this is the
Doo?
roster. Like Hawaii's offense is super fun to watch, explosive. Micah Elahado, dog. There's gonna be a lot of people calling him on the phone, but I don't think he's gonna leave Because I mean, at this point, Timmy Chain, I feel like they got something special going on. Like if there was a coach quarterback situation that you might need to try to steal James
Uh-huh.
Franklin, maybe call up Hawaii and see if
Wow.
Chili and
You think he will leave?
I mean they was already trying to have that boy on the have that man on the hot seat just coming into this year. So he's overachieving in my opinion because Hawaii has been
100%.
clear night and day better than what they was last year. Their
Yeah.
defense was already good. They just didn't get no help from the office, and now you see like some people been missing it because they don't be watching staying up that late. But this one you got to stay up late for. Like it's even it's on Friday night too, right?
Yeah.
So we have no choice but to watch it. So I'm watching this one mainly just because Peter Manum. Uh, I'm watching the defense. The defensive coordinator. He's slipping my mind right now. But
For Hawaii?
Hawaii defensive coordinator now. He's like an older gentleman. His name is dang. His name's slipping my mind. But his imprint on his team is like been felt. It's like this team has some ball hawks just on every level, and young kids ready to seize the day. I think the difference. UNLV on the other hand,
Is Dennis Thurman their defensive coordinator?
Thurman. That's what it is. I think Thurman,
He was at
Coach
Buffalo.
Thurman, bro,
49ers, maybe. He's
just
been in
got
that
his
for a
handprint
while.
all over the team.
That's crazy. I didn't know Dennis Thurman was there.
And then UNLV side, man, UNLV probably has had like the funniest scripted season ever because
Can they just please get like Jet Thomas the ball? Like, bro got 780 yards,
please,
averages 7.6 yards per carry. There's a couple games.
please,
I don't care how much you down, bro. Like 38 yards and 33 yards, 2 consecutive games, bro. Hand the guy the ball, please.
when we get done with this season and we
He,
got to watch back all the highlights
oh,
from the
he's
year,
gone. Jet is gone. Go play for Oregon, bro.
he's gone.
like,
You don't even got to go far.
bro, he's got a step, bro. 103 carries, 780 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's averaging almost 8 yards per carry. Like, bro, go somewhere. Let's go.
And they still don't give him the ball enough.
Yeah,
So
they don't. They know. I know a coach
high
at
scoring
in
shootout.
Blacksburg that know how to use you too. If you want to come cross country, I'm just saying.
James Franklin will have him.
Yeah, he
It will be another Ray Shell tooting.
he get a buck 75, buck 80 carries. He have 1,000 yards with that.
Yeah, I love it. That UNLV defense got some
Mhm,
playmakers too. Like
mhm.
I love how opportunistic and turnover centric that they can be. I also love the defensive line has been getting a little bit more pressure, which I can get behind. But I just think that this game is going to be a high scoring shootout because it just has it salivating all over it. If you think of just some of the crazy games that UNLV has been in this season, it's like
They been
Hawaii.
some crazy ones.
This is the perfect preem. You talk about the perfect storm game where you can possibly go over 100 plus points. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's happening.
yeah.
That's 100%
And I
happening.
wouldn't even be disrespectful to the defensive coordinators if it happened because it's probably just crazy plays, special teams, like muff punt, block punt. Like you never know.
You
Like
seen the Air Force
Alabama, where
game clear 100?
you said could it clear 100?
No, it cleared 100.
Yeah,
Boise State game was a few points away from clearing 100. But yeah, they had 101 total points versus Air Force in a game that they barely won. At home, by the way.
Air Force pushed them to the limit. Air Force said, "Man,
They just struggled with Utah State.
yeah, they did." And Utah State came out of nowhere, and then Nevada
Uh-huh.
won this past week too. I think.
Ugh, that's rough, and that's who UNLV plays, of course, the last game of the season. Alrighty, who you got winning this game, brother?
Give me the Rainbow Warriors. I'm taking them. I'm taking them with pride. Hey, Michael, it's been a joy watching their offense this
Mhm.
season. Hopefully, Ashlock, like they got some dogs. Sims. I'm taking Hawaii,
I'm
and
with
I
you.
think this still keeps them in the race for the championship, right?
I believe so. Let me look at the
Because
conference
I
standings.
think San Diego State, even though
Yeah,
they lost,
San Diego State got one loss. in the
Fresno
conference.
State.
Fresno got it's a bunch of 4-2 teams. You got Fresno
Okay.
State, Boise State, New Mexico is a surpriser, UNLV, Hawaii. Yeah, so yeah, all of those teams still have
They
opportunities to
like
win the
jumbled up
conference.
like the
Yeah,
MAC
so
right now.
this is a must win game for both of these programs. Give me Hawaii as well, as we always do. Moon, you got the last 2 minutes. It's been a fun episode, everybody. Y'all take care. Moon gonna take y'all out of here.
2 minutes of unadulterated fire starts now. We started the show talking about Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. What is he gonna do? Big fish in the pond in the ocean. Is he gonna take his talents to LSU, or is he gonna take it to be a Gator out there in the open? You never know, but it is something to pay attention to when the timing of this news drops. I want this bombshell to drop after we get through the conference championships and make our way to the college football playoff announcing. This is like a couple of weeks. You just gotta wait a couple of weeks. But best believe wherever he goes, they getting the hottest commodity, the prettiest girl at the prom, in my opinion, until he loses. Then these fan bases are going to want to chew him out. And we don't want you no more, even though you just won a national championship. We don't want you no more, even though we haven't won 6 games in like 50 years. I'm just trolling. I'm trolling. We talked about a lot of games on this episode, including BYU and Cincinnati. We talked about American Conference slugfest that we anticipate in between Temple and a team that's been hotter than fish grease and trying to get that changed up with Tulane coming to town. That's one of our big games of the week. Side note on Missouri and Oklahoma before we get out of here. Ahmad Hardy could be in the Heisman conversation. And I don't know if y'all might be ready to have that conversation. But he should be in the Heisman conversation. He's a menace. Until you start talking about the specifics and the details on how he got those yards. Oh, I troll. Hawaii, we're trying to get a dub this week. Let's go. And if your team is playing on Thursday night, we got Sunbelt Conference play this week. Hey, we're gonna be watching. We're gonna be taking notes. And as I like to say, always anarchy in college football. Hopefully, we give you a show on Saturday night. We're gonna be traveling. The governor is going to Michigan versus Maryland. Can't wait for him to tell me all about that one. I'm trying to go to Georgia Tech hosting Pitt. Another game we talked about today. So stay tuned, keep it locked. We're trying to get the Saturday night, late night show. We appreciate all the love, all the support, and you running it up. Share, like, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. We would love to have you engage with us. And until then, my friend, this is another college football late show hosted by Moon and that guy, the governor, CFB Moon on Twitter, Leverett_KT on the Birdie app. And until then, see you soon.